बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलाम वालेकुम स्टूडेंट्स एंड कैंडिडेट्स। आई होप आप सब ठीक होंगे और खैरियत से होंगे और आपकी एफआई की जो तैयारी है वो बहुत अच्छे से और मजे से जा रही होगी। आज की ये स्पेशल वीडियो है उन कैंडिडेट्स के लिए जो एफआईए में कंप्लीट मार्क्स लेना चाहते हैं, चाहे वो किसी भी पोस्ट पे अप्लाई करें, क्योंकि एफआई का मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंट पोर्शन है जो कि एग्जाम में आपसे पूछा जाना है, चाहे वो सब इंस्पेक्टर की सीट हो, चाहे वो असिस्टेंट की हो, चाहे वो एएसआई की हो, चाहे वो कांस्टेबल्स की सीट्स हो। इवन दैट अगर आप क्लरिकल स्टाफ में तो वैसे ही कंप्यूटर का पोर्शन पूछा ही जाएगा, जिसमें यूडीसी, एलडीसी और असिस्टेंट की पोस्टें शामिल हैं। मैंने इस YouTube चैनल के ऊपर तमाम मॉक्स और मॉडल पेपर्स जो हैं वो ऑलरेडी अपलोड कर दिए हैं, आप वो भी देख सकते हैं। इसके अलावा अगर आप इस वीडियो को कंप्लीट देखते हैं और इस कंप्यूटर कोर्स को कंप्लीट कर लेते हैं तो मैं आपको इस चीज की गारंटी देता हूं कि आपके कंप्लीट मार्क्स होंगे कंप्यूटर में से, अगर आप ये कंप्लीट कोर्स करते हैं। और मैं गारंटी देता हूं, जिस तरह इस्लामिक स्टडी के मैंने लेक्चर्स अपलोड किए तो मैंने गारंटी दी, इसी तरह से कंप्यूटर के भी जो मैं लेक्चर्स अपलोड करूंगा तो मैं गारंटी देता हूं इससे हटके कोई भी एमसीक्यूज इंशाल्लाह उसमें नहीं पूछा जाएगा। चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। अगर आप इस YouTube चैनल पे न्यू हैं तो सबसे पहले आप चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लें। अगर आप ये वीडियो फेसबुक पेज पे देख रहे हैं तो पेज को फॉलो जरूर कर लें ताकि आने वाले लेटेस्ट वीडियो का नोटिफिकेशन आसानी आपको मिल सके। पहला एमसीक्यूज है हमारे पास, हाउ मेनी मेन कंपोनेंट्स कंप्राइज कंप्यूटर सिस्टम हार्डवेयर 3, which of the following is not one of three main hardware components? Operating system. Devices that are attached externally to the computer machine are also called reader devices. Which device is used for providing data and instructions to the computer? Input devices. A device that accept data from outside and transfer to the CPU is an input device. Which of the following is an example of an output output both device? Hard disk drive. Which of the following is most common text entering device? Keyboard. The arrangement of keys on a standard keyboard is called QWERTY. The longest key on the keyboard is the spacebar. How many keys are typically found on a personal computer board 101 to 105? The topmost row of keys on standard keyboard contains functional keys. Devices used to control the motion of cursor on the screen are called pointing devices. Which of the following is the most common pointing device for desktop computers? Mouse. The most common pointing device on a laptop is the touchpad. Which device is both an input and output device? Touch screen. An optical mouse uses which component to detect movement? Light emitting diode. Which device converts an image into an electronic format understandable by computers? Image scanner. A light sensitive device that converts drawings or printing text into the digital form is scanner. MICR stand for magnetic in character recognition. Which technology is used for reading check numbers in banks? MICR. OCR stand for optical character recognition. Which device is used to read sense marks or bubbles on pre-printed form like a test OMR? Source data entry devices for audio input include speech recognition. A digital camera is categorized as what type of device? Video input. Which device use light as a source of input in optical input devices? Output generated after processing data and presented to the user is called information. Output that can be read without a computer and stored permanently, hard copy. Output obtained in intangible from an invisible display or audio unit, soft copy. Which of the following is a hard copy device? Plotter. Resolution of a printer is measured in dots per inch. Impact printer use which approach to print? Typewriter approach. Which of the following is an example of impact printer? Dot matrix printer. Impact printers use what to strike the paper? Link driven. Which printers are faster and quicker? Non-impact printers. Non-impact printers use which technology? Inkjet and laser technologies. A device used for plotting graphs and design on a large papers is a plotter. Plotters are mainly used in which application? AutoCAD, CAD and CAM. CAD stand for computer aided design. CAM stand for computer aided manufacturing. What are two kinds of plotters? Drum and flatbed plotters. Soft copy output is considered non-volatile in terms of physical form. Which part of the CPU is capable of performing addition and subtraction, arithmetic and logical unit, logical operations including testing for greater than and less than. High-speed memory locations inside the CPU are called registered, which unit is referred to as the CPU working memory registers, which unit controls overall communication and carries out instructions in a strict sequence control unit. The three basic operations of the control unit are fetch, decode, execute. The memory unit of a computer consists of cache memory and primary memory. Primary memory is also called main memory, which memory is used for permanent storage of data. Secondary memory. Cache memory is located very close to the CPU. The purpose of cache memory is to speed up data transfer operations of the CPU. Primary memory is divided into which two kinds, RAM and ROM. RAM stands for Random Access Memory. Who invented RAM in 1968? Robert Dennard. Volatile memory means it loses content when power is disconnected. Which memory loads the currently running program RAM? Which type of RAM retains data bits as long as power is supplied? SRAM. Which type of RAM provides faster access to data? SRAM. Which type of RAM needs to be refreshed every few milliseconds? DRAM. Why does DRAM need to be refreshed to compensate for charge leaks from the capacitor? ROM stands for read-only memory. ROM was pioneered by machines like ENIAC, unlike RAM and ROM non-volatile. Which type of ROM can be programmed by the user once but cannot be changed after PROM? EPROM stands for Erasable Programmable Read-Only Memory. How is data erased from EPROM? Using ultraviolet light. EEPROM can be made erased by applying an electric field. Which memory allows erasing only portions of the chip? EEPROM. Secondary storage is also known as auxiliary storage. Which of the following is the characteristics of secondary storage? It has a large storage capacity than primary memory. Hard disk was first introduced by IBM in 1957. A hard disk consists of rigid, repeatedly rotating platters. Floppy disks are composed of a thin and flexible disk of magnetic storage medium. USB stand for Universal Serial Bus. USB flash drives appeared in the market in late 2000. CD stand for compact disc. DVD stand for digital versatile video disc. The diameter of standard compact disc is 12 cm. The standard storage capacity of CD is 700 MB. CDs and DVDs differ mainly in size, storage capacity, and manufacturing method. Why can a DVD store more data than CD? Because it uses both sides and more layers. A standard single-side, single-layer DVD can hold how much data? 4.7 GB. A single-sided double-layer DVD can hold 8.5 GB data. What is the maximum capacity of double-sided and double-layer DVD? 17.08 GB. Up to how many layers are possible in a standard from DVD? 4. Which storage device use laser and lights for reading and writing? Optical storage devices. Which technology has mostly replaced floppy disks, flash memory and USB? Registers store data temporarily during execution. Which unit acts as a bridge between input and output memory in the CPU diagram? Control unit. Dot matrix and drum printers are examples of impact printers. Hard copy output is also called physical output. Which device uses magnetic ink? MICR. Dot per inch determine a printer resolution sharpness. A mouse that has no ball and uses LED is called optical mouse. Which keys are used to send commands or perform controlling functions? Functions keys. Computer hardware comprising how many physical parts? 3 main parts. Which memory is non-volatile and used for permanent storage? Secondary memory. What is the brain of the computer that performs all processing? CPU, Central Processing Unit. Primary memory is used to store data and instructions during the processing of data.